Welcome to our Opti 380A final lab project. Our project title was Why is Sunlight Polarized? My name is Max Duque. This is Hailey Watts. Let's get into it. So before we answer why is sunlight polarized, let's talk about what is polarization. Polarization is an inherent characteristic of light, such as brightness or intensity, and it just represents the direction the electric field of light is vibrating. Why is this important? Why do we care about this? Different polarization states affect matter differently. It's going to affect the matter's reflection, transmission, and absorption, depending on the polarization. It's also used in transmitting signals, so like in phone devices or in radar, so like US defense. Some quick examples of polarization. There's three different types: linear, circular, and elliptical. There's also S-polarized and P-polarized light, which we won't go into for this video. But a fun fact, sunglasses are polarized to filter out the polarized light of sunlight, which we'll go into more in this video. We also study polarization here at the U of A. We have a very own polarization lab run by Russell Chipman and Meredith Kupinski. Hailey's going to tell you a little bit more about that.
So she has a couple ongoing projects. One is the polarization light matter interaction model, and the other is the IRCSP, which is a compact and deployable instrument used to gain a measurement of cloud ice and the properties of clouds and their atmosphere. So for our experiment, we used a fish tank, some water, a white light source, a polarizer, coffee creamer, and 3D glasses that had the, we used as the blue filter and the red filter. So we had 4 trials, one with the blue filter, which was without any coffee creamer and just the water, and with coffee creamer. And we did the same thing for the red. We observed polarization between the blue filter without the coffee creamer and with the coffee creamer, and then we also observed the difference polarization between the blue and the red filters.
Yeah, so we're going to show you really quick the video of using the blue filter with the creamer inside. So as you can see, the polarization at 0 degrees, it's clear, and then when rotated, it gets darker, which shows that the light inside of the fish tank is polarized. Back to our slides. How does this represent the sunlight in our atmosphere, and how does this answer our prompt? The coffee creamer in the water actually represents the molecules of the air. And as the light hits these particles in the air, or as the coffee creamer in our experiment, something called Rayleigh scattering happens, and the light is polarized. Hailey's going to tell you a little bit more about Rayleigh scattering right now.
So Rayleigh scattering refers to the scattering of light off of the molecules of the air. As we can see in this diagram, we see that you have your intensity is inversely proportional to the wavelength, since it is in the denominator. So we can assume that because blue light has a smaller wavelength, then it has a higher intensity. And since red light has a larger wavelength, it has a smaller intensity. As we see here in our pictures, you can clearly see that the blue light polarized is much more polarized than the red light from the before and after pictures. So for our results, as we've stated previously, the blue light with the visibility polarization with only water was pretty low. We can't really see much polarization with our naked eye. Of course, there are some polarization still there, but it's not really visible. And then when we put the coffee creamer in comparison with the red, we can see that the blue light is visibly highly polarized than the red light.